Hello, welcome to Your City at Work. Today's topic, we're going to cover the City of Jonesboro Grants Department, and with me today I have the Grants Administrator for the city, Heather Clements. Heather, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Jack?
I'm great. Heather, tell me, what are your major responsibilities in the Grant Department?
Well, we research, write, and manage all of our federal funding, and we serve as the project coordinator or the project implementer as all of those grant-funded projects.
Okay. Now that's short and sweet, but I'm sure that's a huge task. How much does the city have in grants currently?
Currently, we're running close to $25 million in active grants. That's a total of 38 active grants that we have right now. And in 2011, we wrote $11 million in grant funding.
Okay. And over the past, say, 8 months, the city grants department has seen some drastic changes. Tell me about those changes.
Well, in June of 2011, we merged with the CDBG department. Also, we brought over our grants manager from the JETS department over to the grants department. So we're working on streamlining all of our grant processes. That was an effort started about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we're continuing that process to not only streamline the functions and get people in the right positions, but also to maximize all federal funding.
Okay. Now that $25 million that we have out in grants right now, give us kind of a heads up on some of the major projects that you guys are funding with that.
One of the largest projects that we've had going on is the industrial park improvements. When Nordex was coming to town, we wrote a grant to EDA and ADC and DRA to fund some road improvements and some other site improvements to get them here. But also we're continuing that effort, and we're about to make some more changes to the industrial park with those funds.
Now, considering all the funding that we have, is it important that we maintain a working relationship with some of these funders?
Oh, absolutely. For example, we maintain relationships with many federal agencies, including the Department of Justice, the Economic Development Authority, which is actually under the Department of Commerce, as you know. In Little Rock, we have relationships with agencies such as the Arkansas Economic and Development Commission, the Arkansas Development Finance Authority. And in terms of private funding, we have a great relationship with the Rockefeller Foundation, and we have already received technical assistance and training from them over the last year or so, and we expect to continue to build that relationship and work with them on our North Jonesboro initiative and get some more funding from them.
All right. Now there's hundreds, if not thousands, of grants out there available. What is your process to go after specific grants? How do you decide which ones to go after and which ones not to?
Okay, that's a good question, Jack, because like you said, there are lots of grants available, and we could literally spin our wheels applying for every single one of them. But the important thing to remember is that the city has current projects going on all the time. And when we're thinking about what grants to go after, we need to go after funding that specifically ties into projects that the city is not already doing, so as to not just chase money, they say, but actually to fund projects that are very important and are priorities for the city. And how we do that is maintain very close relationships with all of the other department heads. I stay in close contact with them. I find out what projects they're working on. And then that way, that allows me, when I'm doing my weekly, daily grant searches, if I see something that would fund a project that I know one of our departments has going on, I contact the department head, I send them the grant announcement, I say, hey, can you look over on this and see if this is something that could fund your project? They either say yes or no. If they say yes, we get immediately to work and start collecting our data, and we start writing and we apply.
Okay, you spoke specifically about the in-house collaboration that you have, but the city doesn't always write grants as a sole entity. We collaborate outside as well. Tell me about those outside collaborations that we have.
Well, it's really important that the city collaborate with other organizations in order to go after grant funding. Not all projects are specific to just the city. We apply for many regional grant funds. For example, we recently collaborated with the East Arkansas Planning and Development District on the HUD Planning Grant. And the EAPDD actually wrote that grant, and they were awarded that grant. But the City of Jonesboro was a participant of that grant. We also collaborate with other agencies, such as the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce played a huge role in the Nordex grant for the industrial park improvements that we received from EDA and AEDC and DRA. We look forward to partnering more with Arkansas State University in the coming year. We're currently corresponding with them on several projects, and we look forward to building that relationship and collaborating with them even more on projects. But it's important for the city to collaborate and show at the federal and the state level that we realize that it's not just about the city of Jonesboro and what we're doing, but it's about this region as a whole. And the success of Jonesboro is directly correlated to the success of our neighbors and vice versa.
Okay. What does the future hold for the City of Jonesboro Grants Department? What are you guys going to do to establish our future?
Well, you know, Jack, I'm going to keep going after more money. So we have currently close to $25 million, as I told you earlier. We're going to try to build on that and increase that. But more importantly, given the constraints at the federal level with the budget and the funding levels at the federal level, we are really going to start getting creative and start diversifying where our funds are coming from for our projects. We're going to start looking at private foundations at local, state, across the nation, if you will. For example, Rockefeller, we've established this relationship with them, and they are a private foundation, and they are going to partner with us and are partnering with us on our North Jonesboro initiative. We're looking to do more of that this year and expand, not just increase our funds, but expand where our funds come from.
Okay. Well, big things for the future then.
Yeah.
Heather, thank you for sitting down with us. Tell us about the grants department, what you guys do there. Sounds very interesting, and I'm looking forward to the future and more money, I guess.
Well, if you need a grant, let me know.
All right. Thank you guys for watching Channel 24.